Hi, this is Trevor.
And this is Paul.
And you are listening to the May Contain Action podcast.
Available on Apple, Spotify, and more.
I usually keep, like, so my band, all of our music, we write mostly about like politics, politicians, the earth, people, life, all that stuff. And so like I kind of take care of it in there. I usually hate talking about politics with other people because nobody can have an actual civil debate. It usually turns into people going at each other's throats, doing exactly what the doing exactly what the media has been training us to do for years, and that's to be aggressive towards each other, and that's not okay. That's why I stay away from it.
That's why we are not going to discuss it right now.
Yeah, that's why we named our album "The Sea of Tragic Beasts," because that's what we all become. We've all become those people who feel primal in any situation now. Like, people get so mad and aggressive instantly off of like little things. No one can just be nice to each other anymore. Like, everyone's got to be evil. Everyone's got to have that dark side to protect themselves for something that may happen that isn't even happening, but they're just trained to think that. And I was telling Paul this the other day, man, like, you don't get any, like, what do you gain out of being mean, evil, or a bad person at all? Nothing. You gain so much more when you're an actual good person and you support and love the people around you.
It's true. Facts.
Dude. Hard facts.
Yeah. 1988. Important facts.
You get
Those
actual things when you're nice.
Exactly.
Things tend to work out with both sides, you know. It's just killing with kindness, man. Just give more than you receive, and never expect anything in return, and you're golden.
Yeah,
like, just create value for people.
Hold the door for someone. Make eye contact and say hi to a random person that just held the door for you. You know?
Yeah.
Little things really can matter in someone else's life. You don't know what's going on in someone else's life past them. So like when you're in passing, like when I'm at a show and like people are just like hardcore judging each other, it's like it's kind of lame because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So that's why I'm always like really nice to anyone, because there's no reason to add more negativity to someone's life, especially if you don't know them. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors, man. Like, you
at least know they deserve it before you give it to them. You know
exactly. But then if they're a horrible person, then you just walk away from it. You don't need to engage with it. You don't need to make it even worse. It's just like, all right, that's where you stand. I stand over here. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But actually, our real subject, which is, I think, a little bit lighter and a little bit more happy. But no, that was great. That was great. You're nominated for Best Vocalist of 2019 by metalinjection.net.
Insane.
How does being the lead singer of a successful band shape the way that you stream? How has it affected the other things that you do?
Well, it definitely does help my stream. I honestly haven't. Today is my first stream in 2 months because I've been away on tour. It's hard to tour and stream at the same time. It's hard to get a mobile set up without spending $1,000 a month just on the internet.
Oh, for sure.
It's insane. It's stupid, but it's definitely helped a lot. Like, the band helps with a lot of things that I do. It opened up more of a broader audience to see me, and I just try to use it to my best advantage to kind of create a more positive environment for people, you know. And I love that. I love the fact that I can be able to do that.
Yeah, awesome. You just actually touched on this. It's kind of a two-part question, but you know, I am someone who also can attest to this, but like the difficulties in trying to create content and do that other thing that you really enjoy, especially now that I know you're a barber as well. This question is even more like, and also do your number one thing, and that's being the band. And, you know, if you're going on tour, that in terms of work, obviously family comes first for vast majority of people. But like for work, you know, you're singing, like when you go on tour, that's going to be the number one thing you're going to do. You're not going to cancel a tour so you can stream, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
no, like
the same way that I'm not going to be like, hey guys, I'm taking a year off from playing baseball. I want to just see how the streaming thing goes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So specifically, like what are a lot of the difficulties that you run into, but what is also the unique parts of being who you are and then also creating content around it? Like what are some of the cool things that being who you are allows you to do? And what are some of the difficult parts? What are the most difficult parts to maintaining it all?
Okay, so I mean, one of the really cool parts is definitely like meeting people like you guys. Like you guys are big deals on the internet right now, and you guys are constantly growing, and it's really cool to watch. And it's been really cool playing games with you guys and stuff too. And I don't think I would have had that opportunity if I didn't have somewhat of a stance in the public eye, if that makes sense. You know, yeah. So I mean, that doesn't sound weird, but so it's stuff like that that's really cool. Like, you know, companies hitting me up to send me free merch and gear and vape stuff and microphones and stuff and all this stuff. They're just like, all right, cool. Here I have all this stuff. I'm like, dude, this is so sick. Like, I love this, but now I got to use it. So, and that's all like really, really cool. And just being able to travel, it allows me to travel and do all that stuff. It's really awesome. I'd say some of the I think the hardest thing for me is spending so much time away from home, away from my family and the people that I love and care about, and spending so much more time doing my job and being this person for other people instead of, you know, having that sense of feeling secure in one spot. I'm always constantly moving. So I guess that would be like kind of the harder part for me, is just constantly moving around and not having that steady spot where I just feel like I'm in one spot. Does that make sense? I'm trying to find a better word for that. But
no, it makes complete sense.
Yeah. And you know, it's hard when I'm on tour because I can't create content. I can't do my Twitch thing. So it like kind of like takes a step back from each thing. But when I come home, it's all playing catch up. So
exactly.
But in all, regardless of all the bad things or anything negative that goes on, I'm still very grateful for everything that I have, and I'm never going to take anything for granted. You know, you start thinking about that when you start losing people in your life, and you're like, man, I wish I cared more about certain things. And it's like, well, you can appreciate life, you can appreciate everything else. Just don't let the negativity just drown out everything good that's happening to you in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You posted recently too that you got to go hang out with your grandmother. You hadn't seen her in years, and you got to see your family.
9 years. I haven't seen my grandmother in 9 years, and she doesn't drive. Yeah. She doesn't she's like afraid to drive. And I was at my mom's house in Arizona for the day because we were playing in Arizona that day, and she just opened the front door and she was right there, and I lost it, man. I haven't seen her in 9 years. She drove herself to come see me. So it was just, it's such a good thing, man. It was so cool to see my family. I love my family so much, and it sucks not being able to be close to them. But
absolutely.
But you know, I love my job. I love doing what I do. I love streaming. I love playing video games. I love hanging out with you guys, talking to you guys. You know, all these little things make my day a lot better, and it makes me more thankful each day.
And Joe, listen to you kind of talk about your family and how much you love them, and obviously just generally positivity. And I'm actually have to check my own biases in this. I'm not sure what it comes from. If I'm just not as exposed to the culture or exposed to the music as much, but being in a metal band, that does not often, at least in my mind, again, I could be completely wrong, at least in my mind, carry with it like positivity, love for everyone, being kind. Like generally hardcore metal doesn't have that type of image. So I think you saying these types of things is kind of going right in the face of that. It's
me. Cool because like a lot of people do think about it like because I get tagged in these memes all the time. It's just like your what you assume you're a vocalist, your favorite vocalist, and it'll just be like this mean looking picture of yourself, and then the next one's just like but him when he's not being the mean vocalist, and it's just me in a SpongeBob outfit or something. I don't know, just being...
But I guess like the subject of your music and stuff is all about like pointing out things that could be better.
Yeah, we're pointing out things that need to be changed. We touch 100%. We touch base on things that people like. We use our platform for good instead of using it to just like flex. You know, we try to touch on subjects that people are not really paying attention to. That we feel that you should pay attention to these things because in the grand scheme of life, this is a part of it, and you need to pay attention to this. We need to pay attention on how we treat each other as people, or else we just become these primal animals, and it's gonna be chaos, and we don't want chaos. So It's kind of nice, and it's been really cool, the response we've been getting from people that are like, dude, I didn't even know about this. This is so awesome. Like, thank you for opening my eyes to this. I'm starting to work with this charity company now. It's like, that's the things that I love. I love the fact that they're reaching out and trying to make a difference, because if we put out a song and it maybe helps like 10 people out, that matters. Those 10 people are going to make a difference in their lives around them and the people's lives around them.
Absolutely.
And that matters.
Love it.
It's a lot of what the stream, I feel like, for me, is based around, like, why am I doing what I'm doing, right? Like, why am I making content? Why am I streaming? And I always tell Tirza, like, when I'm having a bad day, right? Like, when am I doing this? I'm irrelevant. No one cares about what I'm doing or why or anything like that. And we kind of come down to like, well, you know, if you helped one person, right? If you helped them get through a hard time, or God forbid they were thinking about doing something worse, you get them through that, it was all worth it. All of it was worth
absolutely
it.
Like I said, even if it is just one person, you don't know the power that we have as people to have an impact on other people.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, so that's the hard exterior, I feel like, or the rough exterior of hardcore metal. People might get into it because like, oh, this seems really, really badass. I'm gonna freaking let all my aggression here, and it's like, taught me how to love.
But I'm aggressive.
It does. No, it teaches you to appreciate. You know? You can't have love without hate. You know.
Exactly.